sleep health is as important as our health when we go to work out, our financial health, our relationship health. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Soulfully Speaking. I'm your host, teacher, and guide, Brian Bachand, and as always, it is a pleasure and a joy to welcome you. This week's topic is all about sleep, and are you invested or are you in debt? And what I mean by that is, do you take your sleep seriously, or you kind of burn the candle at both ends? Sleep is maybe not the top priority for you. You're always groggy, tired. Sleep health is so critical to living in deep awareness of who we are and where we are in life. Our sleep is not always going to be perfect. You know, I was a former priest, and I remember my first year in the parish. I was in a huge parish with tons and tons of young families. And I remember this mother came up to me. She said to me, I always remember it, she said, over 60% of your congregation is sleep deprived, meaning that the majority of the people who were there are parents of young children who probably are just getting a few hours of sleep at night. Their sleep is interrupted. There will be times in life when our sleep is going to be disrupted. Our sleep is going to be challenged, whether it's raising a family with young children, whether you're taking care of an older parent that maybe lives with you and you're helping to take care of them. Maybe it's your partner who's sick and has a cold in bed and that's just keeping you up at night. We do need to be aware of our sleep, because our sleep is designed to replenish the body, to rejuvenate the mind, and to relax the soul. And we really need to realize that sleep is something that needs to be a priority. It needs to be something that we do kind of an overview, and how are we preparing ourselves to go to sleep? You know, it's like going on a trip. You know, you don't just pack 5 minutes before, you leave, throwing stuff into a suitcase and hoping you have everything, and then realize when you get there you don't, and everything's wrinkled, and you're just frustrated, and you overpacked or underpacked or brought the wrong things or mismatched socks. No, you take the time to prepare. And the same is important for sleep, to prepare. Of how do we prepare? And it also helps us be deeply connected to our heart, to our spirit, and to the clarity that we need in living our life and our relationships in the world. So the most important thing to do is to really reflect on, how are you preparing for sleep? It's easy to get pulled in. The screen, the light is bright, and it's a sense of looking, and you make the excuse, well, it's a way to relax. You watch this video, you see what's going on Instagram, and the next thing you know, it's 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and it's kind of nonsense, and you're not tired. It's important to realize, are we doing that all the time? Do you have a bedmate, your spouse, or your partner? Are they working in bed? Is that keeping you up at night? Do you end up having huge, deep, big problem-solving conversations right before you go to bed? And is that then waking you up in the middle of the night? What are you doing before you go to sleep will impact how you sleep. And I can promise you, with a couple shifts of some of the things I want to propose today, if you're struggling, these are powerful ways that you can have a more restful sleep, a way to be more aligned, a way to help you, especially when you're in a moment of stress, if you're overthinking, if there's a problem going on at work, or there's a family situation. How can you get to sleep? And how can these techniques help you from a very soulful place to have that restful sleep? So first of all, it's really important to realize, let's talk about technology. I can't recommend enough getting the cell phone and turning it off, or putting it on airplane mode, or at least taking it, and when you get into bed, if you have to have it next to your bed because you set your alarm, as soon as you set your alarm, that you turn it over and you just have the phone down and it's put away. Because if it's showing up and you still see the sign, or if you get any signals, it's a way to distract. The most important thing is, when you're going to bed, it is the place to empty the day. And I've shared this with some clients, that if you're really struggling, there are some very simple exercises you can do. They're kind of like a yin yoga, very simple stretches that help you relax, that when you get into bed, your body has moved some of that energy calmly through your day. It's a way of releasing the day and getting into bed. One of the greatest things is that our mind is so stimulated from the moment we open our eyes that it needs time to unwind. One of the biggest reasons we do not get to sleep in a peaceful way is because our mind has not been allowed to begin to calm down from the day. Another aspect is when you turn the light out. And this is one of the techniques that I taught a client early on when I first started my company. Place your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your belly. And you take some nice, long, deep breaths in. You just can count all the way to 4. Breathe in, hold for 4, exhale out for 4. And you can feel your heart, and it's a way of releasing the day. And when you're doing that, one of the things you can also do is thank mentally with gratitude, starting from your toes, saying, I'm so grateful for my feet. I'm so grateful for all the places that they helped me walk to today. I'm so grateful for my lungs, for every breath that I took, for every heartbeat that enabled me to live this day, for my eyes that I could see, for all the things I could hear, for my voice. And if you start to do that, you can actually start to calm your body down. Breathing, it's a beautiful, beautiful connection. The last thing that's going to not always help is reaching for the phone sometimes. Give yourself those minutes. If you're like, oh, I think I'm awake, place your hand in your heart. And even just saying, I'm so grateful to be here. So grateful that I have this moment just to rest. The sound, the energy of sound has a very soothing effect on the energy of our mind, our brain waves, our heart, and our breathing. And it fully adjusts and helps us to go into a deeper, deeper sleep in our minds. These small techniques, by doing something that eases the mind, connects to the body, it's a beautiful way to then ease off. And finally, I want to share something with you. That if you're dealing with an issue, maybe you have a particular work situation, maybe there's a challenge you've had in a relationship, but maybe there's been a disagreement on something, or maybe you have to make a decision about, something simple that you are trying to do that's positive. There are two good options. You don't know which one to do. You're kind of torn. Before you go to sleep, it's really important you can just say out loud, ask the question, just simply say, may I be guided to know what is the right next step to do on this particular issue. We've all heard the expression, oh, why don't you sleep on it overnight? Well, that isn't just an expression. That is truly related to our subconscious and to our intuition and to our soul. Oftentimes, the sleep, which is a way of how we connect on a very spirit level, just ask the question, just whisper it out loud. What is it that I need to know? Grant me the knowledge and the information to make the next right decision. And I promise you'll be surprised by the answer. I hope this conversation today is one that helps. And I can't wait to see you again till next week, and have a good sleep.